Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Rita's Book Club. On this episode, I'm reviewing Glitterland by Alexis Hall. This book is part of the Spire series, and I was very excited to read it. After discovering Alexis' work, I've been trying to read some of his older books, and this one was re-released recently, so I was very excited to read it. Once a golden boy of the English literary scene, now a clinically depressed writer of pulp crime fiction, Ash Winters has given up on love, hope, happiness, and most of all, himself. He lives his life between the cycles of his illness and haunted by the ghosts of other people's expectations. Then a chance encounter at a stag party throws him into the arms of ex-boy Darian Taylor, an aspiring model who lives in a world of hair gel, fake tans, and fashion shows. By his own admission, Darian isn't the crispest lettuce in the fridge, but he cooks him in cottage pie and makes Ash laugh, reminding him of what it's like to step beyond the boundaries of anxiety. But Ash has been living in his own shadow for so long that he can't see past the glitter or the light. Can a man who doesn't trust himself ever trust in his happiness? And how can a man who doesn't believe in happiness ever fight for his own? In the last few years, I've become such a big fan of Alexis Hall books and all these queer stories it tells us, and of course, Glitterland wasn't an exception. I was pleasantly surprised with this book, and because I was expecting a bit more glitter and light moments, but the book is it's a hard one to read, and it uses a lot of comedy to bring these heavy subjects to light. Ash's story isn't an easy one, and the character goes through a lot in the book regarding his mental health and self-destruction tendencies. The description of the ups and downs of his mental state while living with chronic depression were heartbreaking and felt very real. It's why I believe his evolution, especially after meeting Darian, was such an amazing surprise that it made me really emotional to see all these new sides of him, because Darian brought him a little more light in his dark life. Darian was sweet and in sunshine, puppy in the body of a man. I absolutely adored him, and I was so happy that we got to see him live life to the fullest, but also being so responsible and serious when needed. I believe that in the beginning we get this illusion that he doesn't understand or take things seriously, but he knows that life isn't fair. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that people live and or change. He's unapologetic of himself, and that's very brave. I honestly think that's one of the reasons why he and Ash are so perfect together. He's honest and unafraid to push Ash's buttons and tell him the truth, especially about his feelings. And Ash needed that pure honesty in his life. He needed someone to get through to him. They are polar opposites in every aspect of their lives, but since the first moment they met, there's that spark that makes you realize that they fit, and it's extremely extraordinary that they found their way to each other. Another thing I liked and thought it was very cool as a parallel in the story was the friendships, the two main groups of friendships. On one side we have Ash and his friends that were very posh, educated, but still faced a lot of issues. And on the other hand, we had Darian and his friends that were silly and wacky fashionistas that really were the most level-headed and realistic people ever. It was very interesting and such a simple parallel. I loved Chloe, Darian's best friend, and I just wanted to hang out with her. I wanted her to keep being successful and just enjoying her excess life. On the other hand, and this is the one that gets tricky for me, Niall made me really uncomfortable. His situation with Ash wasn't an easy one, and I have to admit that. But he tried to stay beside him, but sometimes the way he talked to Ash was very harsh and heartbreaking. I think it was extremely important for them to kind of have a fallout so they could finally be honest with each other and realize what they really wanted from the friendship. By the way, and this is more like a comment to the author, I love that he kept the excess accent in his writing. It was hilarious to try to decipher it sometimes, but it was also so good to see Darian like that through because we are reading through Ash's eyes. The accent is very pronounced, so I think it was a nice detail to keep it like that. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Rita's Book Club for more content. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Happy readings.